Like always, I want to welcome you to this class called Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey. This is the class where we're going to break down and understand the true meaning and powerful transformative energies that is held behind this name, as well as the letters and the energy that it holds. Like always, I would like us all to take a deep breath, center ourselves, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in the breath of life, which is high. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now receive these words. מחשבה בתולה טהורה ראשונה לפני זה האמת. מחשבה בתולה טהורה ראשונה לפני זה האמת. מחשבה בתולה טהורה ראשונה לפני זה האמת. Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey. 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 Selah. We know that this prayer, this mantra, activates taking you back to your original state, taking you back, clearing your energy system, centering you to draw down your higher self, pure consciousness, you as your essence. So by doing this, you activate the memory. You allow your finite mind to step aside so you can retrieve the higher consciousness of self, each individual in their own soul's maturity. You are also allowing yourself to tap into the heavenly realm. Why are we here? We know that to be a human being is an experience, but it's also a privilege, because here you are able with choice to ascend. It is always our choice as human beings to ascend or descend. Ascension, what does that mean? You gain experiences, whether they're good or bad or traumatic. You have experiences, you gain knowledge from those experiences, and then you use them to become wisdom. You become wise with this. Wisdom, the soundness of an action or decision with regards the application of experience, using the knowledge and good judgment. When you become and activate with the energy of your higher self, you become proactive as opposed to being reactive or reactionary, which that is of the lower self, which is the ego. So when you are beginning to walk on this journey to ascension, you are aware of all things. You become aware that the things that you are experiencing are not happening to you, they're happening for you. So when you're walking in that awareness, it's triggered. I would say not as triggered as you would be in the egoic state or in the lower state, the lower mindset. You open yourself to become very, very aware of all things. You look for the signs and the meanings to see beyond the illusions of what stands before you. Hebrew as a light language. Now, the sacred and energetic vibration. Hebrew is viewed as a language with sacred and powerful vibrations. The universe was created by word. By speaking was created sound, which created light, which created this universe. Language. Each Hebrew letter is associated with a specific sound, a numerical value, and these letters are believed to carry energetic frequencies. Reciting or chanting Hebrew words or prayers, can activate and align these energies within oneself. Spiritual connection. Hebrew has deep spiritual significance for many people. The Hebrew language is seen as a means of connecting with the divine, whether through prayer, meditation, or the study of sacred texts. Just by reading it, just by looking at it, just by meditating with these letters, you can unlock a higher level of frequencies and connection to the divine. Meditation or the study of sacred texts. Hebrew words and letters can access a higher realms of consciousness and facilitate the spiritual growth. Again, we are here to ascend. Therefore, you need the different ways, sounds, frequencies, the ancient languages, practices to assist us to grow, to understand what we experience so we can grow from there. Symbolism and mysticism. Hebrew letters and words are associated with the mystical teachings and symbolism, the sacred geometries. It all has numeric value, and the Hebrew language ties up to the numeric values. So that shows you that through different symbols, you hear the stories, even reading the Bible, the ancient texts, we gain so much knowledge behind those texts, but you have to break the seals of those texts. They use so many symbols: the birds, the eagles, the lamb, the lion. All those are really metaphors and symbols to understand an attribute or energy. The study of Kabbalah, mystical traditions, delves into the hidden meanings and spiritual dimensions of Hebrew letters and their combinations. So practitioners of light language see Hebrew as the key to unlocking spiritual insights and accessing a higher levels of consciousness. Divine creation. According to certain beliefs systems, why we say certain belief systems? Because according to the maturity of your soul, certain levels of consciousness you're not able to tap into. It's not because you don't want to. Sometimes you have to grow. It's through those different growths and ascension, the different experiences, the reincarnations that you've had, you have gotten to a level that you can obtain more consciousness, more understanding, more levels of awareness, because it's according to the maturity of your soul. Everybody cannot access all the levels at once. It is a process. We're talking of light years. We're talking about eons. So to expect someone to understand the level of consciousness that you understand, all we can do is give them love and light. If you're speaking to someone and it just sounds like, casting pearls on swine, literally, that's like speaking to deaf ears. That's speaking Japanese to someone that only speaks English. So understanding that your levels of consciousness is based on your maturity. The divine creation, according to the certain belief systems, Hebrew is seen as the language through which the divine creation occurred. The concept of the word or logos in various spiritual traditions relates to the idea that creation was brought forth through divine speech. Hebrew is a way to tap into the divine. Here's a couple of more things that I wanted to add. The term light language can have various interpretations. It is typically associated with the spiritual metaphysical concepts. Light language are energetic forms of communication that transcend the verbal language and connects directly to the higher consciousness or the divine realms. In this context, Hebrew is considered the light language. Here are a few reasons why Hebrew is that light language. Yud-Hey, Vav-Hey. The word, the letters, these letters is considered one of the most sacred and mysterious names of God. Yud-Hey, Vav-Hey is a 4-letter sequence. What is a sequence? I'm using my cursor to show you that a sequence is the first letter of a word and in each sentence, as you see. So Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Now see, this is when it get tricky. Yehiyeh Asher Yehiyeh or Yehiyeh Va Yehiyeh. Those are two ways that you can activate saying this exact same sequence. That's another mystical way of understanding the Hebrew language. You can have a root word and it can give you different variations. But in this case, Yehiyeh Asher Yehiyeh activates the I am that I am, meaning you are draw down the I am presence. We're going to dive deeper into really understanding how that works. Using the sacred name that has been given can take you into the consciousness awareness. The body is three-dimensional energy field which fuses the relationary qualities. We have these senses. We feel, we smell, we hear, we can see. We don't only see with our eyes open. We are able, once we activate, especially through the meditation, we activate that third eye, we are able to see beyond the illusions of this world. We can see beyond what is right in front of us. But you do that with these sensors. The physical senses help you to connect to the higher realm with the divine qualities of the soul. This is done through the divine language. It explores the hidden aspects of the universe, the nature of God, and the relationship between humans and the divine. It involves seeking knowledge and understanding through meditation, contemplation, and interpretation of the sacred texts. Kabbalah seeks to uncover deeper truths about existence and the interconnectedness of all creation. Through meditation, we to the higher realm. Again, meditation is key. Prayer is speaking out to the Creator, speaking to the universe, speaking to yourself. When you are praying, you are also activating that same question, that same yearning desire to yourself, to your subconscious, to your soul, in which holds the key to all the information that you need to help guide you through this realm. You have to activate that. But meditation is a powerful key because it allows you to sit still and receive the guidance and the inspirations that you are asking and seeking help with or for. Let's break down. Yod. The first letter of Yehwa Vav He is Yod, which is symbolized the divine spark. What sparks? Fire. Or the primordial point of creation. Yod represents the divine will, wisdom, and unity. It signifies the infinite potential of God and the initial impulse from which all creations emanate. Yod is the point of connection between the infinite and the finite. Yod associate with wisdom, the seed of potential and power of creation. The dot or the point represents and point where all differences merge into oneness. It symbolizes the unification of the opposites and the essence of the divine unity. Really understanding that from that spark, we were created. It started with a spark. Think of the fire. It has to be a spark before you can start or ignite that fire, before you can ignite that passion within you, before you can dive into, you have to have an inspiration. Think as that spark, as the inspirations that we receive from the divine. Allowing yourself to tap higher into the realms, the higher realms, allowing yourself to be guided through inspirations. Manifesting is the Hey. Hey is the second and the fourth letters of Yehwa Vav He. The Hey represents the divine feminine aspect, often associated with the Shekinah. The Shekinah, the Shekhinah, is an energy. Shekhinah is an energy which means the vessel in which the Creator the Creator dwells in. That is the combination of the Creator's energy and feminine, the immanent presence of God, and the world of manifestation. The first hay represents the divine emanation or revelation into the physical world, while the second hay represents the return of the divine energy to its source. The letter hay, connected to the creative aspect of the universe, is associated with the element of water. The letter hay is also associated with grace and revelation. Through grace do we understand the Creator. Through grace do we allow the energy and the things that we need to let go of. Through grace do we expand. It's the energy of grace that we can create, because grace and unconditional love is how you understand the divine's plan. We are not always going to understand word for word how to walk. It is through walking by faith, having grace for yourself, for knowing the things that you do not know, allowing yourself to expand and just be still, be guidable. We have to be in a space that we're guidable. We allow the Creator to walk us. The divine spark give you the inspiration, and the hay allows you to have grace. So the revelation, the inspirations that you need, the continuous motivation that you need, the continuous guidance that you need will occur. The hay symbolizes the channel through which spiritual insight. The hay is which the spiritual insight and blessings are bestowed upon humanity. Vav, the third letter of Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey, which signifies the connection between the physical and the spiritual realm. The Vav looked like a hook. It is literally understanding that Vav is activating us, the spiritual and the physical realm. Vav represent the channel or bridge through which the divine energy flows into creation. It is associated with transformation, balance, and the divine presence within all aspects of existence. You receive the inspiration. You have grace. You have faith. You activate the divine qualities of the Creator. You allow yourself. You need courage. All those energies are composed in grace and in unconditional love. You allow that energy of the hay to build up, to guide you in a space where you allow the Creator to continue to reveal the levels of consciousness that you are ready for. It's through surrender. As you are waiting, you drew down, the spark happened. You are in the hay. That energy of the divine qualities, the unconditional love, the grace, the patience, the flexibility, using courage. You see how we are literally, as just activating the Yud-Hey, you are allowing the energy and the embodiment of those divine qualities that we all speak about daily. How to activate this energy within you, how to draw down and become this energy. Hay is the fourth letter of Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey, another hay, but it is considered the final hay because it appears at the end of the word. The final hay represents the completion and perfection of the divine plan. It represents the ultimate harmony and unification of all aspects of creation, as well as the return of the divine energy to its source. Overall, the breakdown of Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey in Kabbalah highlights the interplay between the divine will, manifestation, and the unity of all creation. It symbolized the continuous flow of the divine energy from its source to the physical world and its eventual return to unity. We are here to ascend. That is inevitable for those who choose to ascend. Your process, your experiences is to allow you to expand and grow in consciousness. Each level of consciousness open another door to the heavenly realm. You do not get all the keys to the doors at one time. We all have to walk through the process, and as you're going through this process, you are becoming, you are transforming, you are being in a space that you are clearing out the things to be ready for the consciousness. You are expanding. Spirit is so gracious and loving that it doesn't give us everything at one time. I personally was an eager beaver. In the beginning of my awakening, the first thing I wanted to do is know everything. I had so many questions. I had more questions than I allowed for Spirit to feed me. I didn't allow the slow walk to walk, connect the dot process. So therefore, I found myself many times having blockages because I was so busy trying to get it all. I was trying to read all the books. I was trying to read all the classes. But at one point, my mentor said, don't watch no more classes. Don't read no more books. It's time for you to sit down. It's time for you to apply what you have acquired, the knowledge, the awareness, and begin to practice these things and begin to become, so you can be ready for the next door, so you can be ready for the next level of consciousness. That is the beauty of the divine plan. Spirit give it to us when we are ready. And you cannot outwit the Creator. We have to allow the process, and the more you expand into this awareness, the more you will realize that you don't want to rush it. That you understand that it comes with more levels of sacrifice, more levels of detachment, more levels of expansion. And we are in this human realm, this physical realm, this human body, and it becomes difficult because sometimes you begin to expand and you find yourself not being able to connect with people on the physical realm. So we have to apply balance. We have to apply balance, and Spirit will give it to you as you are ready to receive it, as you're learning to apply the knowledge that you're receiving, to apply the consciousness that you have evolved into. It does not work. Just like we went over, experiences give knowledge. Knowledge become wisdom. It doesn't become wisdom without action. It does not become wisdom without practice and becoming. Overall, the breakdown of Hay is understanding the ultimate connection of all the divine qualities. It symbolized the continuous flow of the divine energy. You continuously are flowing and expanding in this energy. I'm going to use this analogy because it came to me last night. For those who ever played with a slingshot, I have brothers, so I played with slingshots. You have to pull back. You have to pull back that rubber band or that elastic rubber all the way back for it to shoot forward. So we have to go backwards to go forward. In order to really understand who you are, why you're really here, what's your purpose in life, you have to go backwards. And going backwards allow you to realize that, wow, every single thing that I have experienced prepared me for this moment right here. Every single experience, whether it was traumatic, whether if it was joyful, blissful, we can't go back and say it was all trauma, it was all horrible. We have had the balance of many experiences. We have to apply balance in all things, but most importantly, we have to always go back to the foundation, go back to the essence. truly uncover who you really are, you have to go backwards to go forward. You're going to get in spaces as you evolve in your consciousness that you have to go back to the practices that you started. What got you to this level of consciousness? Whether it was meditating daily, it was praying daily, it was doing reading. You can never get to this point that you are not still using the same consistent practices that allowed you to expand. So allow yourself, always be graceful with yourself when knowing that, going back to the foundation, it symbolized the continuous flow. In order to allow that continuous flow within you, the evolving, the elevated consciousness, you have to be willing to be in a space to be guidable. A teacher is constantly in a state of learning, always in a state of looking for the true meaning and having awareness of why they're here. The difference, it is important to note that Kabbalistic interpretations can vary among different schools and traditions. And this breakdown represents a general understanding of the symbolism behind Yud-Hey Vav-Hey. Again, when I spoke about the combination or understanding the sequence and understanding the root cause or the root word of any word in Hebrew, it have various meanings. But this particular sequence holds so much transformative energy, so much information. It's like literally trying to understand the Creator, which is limitless. It is a limitless energy in which we're constantly evolving into understanding. Yod is the fire element. The masculine energy, understanding of gender symbolism, Yod is associated with the masculine or active energy. It represents the initiator, the driving force, and the impetus of creation. The idea, the inspiration that's beginning of the elevated consciousness. Again, it is the spark that gives the flame. It is literally the inspiration, that projector. It is the energy that allows you to get started. But we have to take our accountability. That's when we walk. You receive the inspirations in dreams, in meditations, in listening to music, walking down the street. You receive inspirations. Go here. Try that. It is up to you to listen to that mind, that first thought, that pre-thought, what is your higher self, and allow you to create. That's how we are co-creators with the Creator. It represents the initiator, the driving force, the impetus of creation. Yod holds a potent, energetic influence associated with the power of correction, concentration, and focus, enabling channeling of the spiritual energy into specific intentions or manifestation. This is the energy that allows you to get started. You ready to move forward? You ready to create? It is that I. It is the I, which is understanding the Yod, which is the divine spark, which is that divine masculine energy that projects, and the feminine energy create. Let's go into the feminine energy. The masculine and feminine energy. Hey is feminine, creative power. The energy of Hey is associated with the creativity and the power of manifestation. It is believed to contain the creative force that brings ideas and concepts into tangible existence. It represents the ability to transform potential into actuality and to give form to abstract thoughts and visions. You receive the thoughts, you receive the meditations, you receive the dreams, you receive the downloads, as we call them. It is you. You are the me. You take that inspiration and you create with it. We are all composed of masculine and feminine energy within us. your masculine energy connected to the Creator, once you have activated your higher self, you have drawn down that elevated consciousness, now you are operating through the divine inspiration, which is feeding your masculine energy, which is projecting to your me, which is your feminine energy, which allow you to create. If you take the inspiration, that spark, and create with it. Yud-Hey, masculine and feminine energy. By drawing down the higher Yud-Hey, Vav-Hey. Yud-Hey representation of the masculine and feminine energy of the androgynous energy, which is spirit. That the Yud-Hey is the highest form of this energy. It is the potent understanding that this is God. The Yud-Hey is activating God. But let's go deeper. This energy is the original energy, the original creator. The Vav-Hey. The Vav is masculine energy. It is associated with the concept of connection and unity. It represents the energy of linking, joining, and harmonizing various aspects together. Vav is the connection, emphasizing its role in bridging different dimensions and realms. It is seen as the conduit of the divine energy, facilitating the flow of spiritual influences and connecting the higher realm with the lower realm, higher realm, and the physical realm. The Hay is feminine energy that take that higher realm, that inspiration, and make it that motivation and create with it. This is how we combine it. There we go. We create by drawing the Yud-Hey, the spirit. Added the Vav-Hey, which is your higher self. You're drawing down that. Look how we have connected this energy. I made this picture because this represents the highest Yud-Hey and Vav-Hey. Now we draw down as our higher selves the actual activation of that same Yud-Hey, Vav-Hey within us. Now we are, when we say I am presence, Yehye Asher Yehye, you have drawn down the highest form of the Yud-Hey, your higher self, the Vav-Hey, now down into the body, into the heart, thus activating the Merkaba. According to ancient mystical texts, such as the book of Ezekiel chapter 1, in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, the Merkaba is described as the celestial chariot or throne-like structure that carries the presence of God or the divine beings. It is often portrayed as the complex, multi-dimensional construct with the wheels, angels, and other mystical elements, meaning avatars. In each dimension, you are able to connect when you have activated that divine quality, the divine qualities. You have drawn down your higher self. You have activated that energy within you. Now you have opened the doors to the different dimensions. Now you are able to be that chariot. Use this chariot to travel through the different dimensions. This is what the Merkaba is. Merkaba is a means of transportation for the different dimensions. The vehicle. Today, we are in the three-dimensional, which is this physical body, but we are able to activate this energy to allow us to travel. By activating this coordinate, we will no longer be earthbound, but we will be able to pass through the magnetic fields of change. We know there's nothing absolute but the Creator. Ein Sof, never-ending source, Yehwa, Yahweh. There is nothing but absolute, but change and the Creator. Understanding that, allowing you to be able to travel through these magnetic fields of change, so we can understand this is how you can travel to the past, in the present, and to the future. Through the multi-dimensions, the parallel universes, to understand as we expand into meaning and understanding this limitless vehicle, this energy, we are able to understand what really the pyramid is about. The pyramid is all about traveling, meaning to get to the place where you can get elevated consciousness, you can grow, you can ascend. You are able to travel to these different dimensions to receive energy, knowledge of our ancestors, knowledge of the ancient ones, being able to connect, communicate, and bring it back down to earth to allow you, to assist you to navigate this world. We navigate this world not by our finite minds, only through the infinite, tapping into that infinite source of creation, the infinite energy. We can allow ourselves to expand. We expand by surrendering, by knowing that we don't know it all, opening our horizon, and being prepared to travel. The pyramid, we can understand the module of human consciousness, programming and consciousness of resurrection. Through these traveling, through the astrophysical realm, we are able to really understand the inner makings of our consciousness, why we do the things that we do, how the layers of programs affect us, how can we walk from one aspect of an understanding, of an awareness, things that we grew up to believe things are in the absolute, and draw down the truth. Again, according to the maturity of your soul, will you be able to draw down this level of understanding and higher consciousness. Yehwa, by drawing down the higher Yehwa representation of the masculine and feminine energy of spirit, that androgynous energy, draw down this within you. You are made of earth, which is composed of all the elements. You activate all the elements: fire, water, earth, air. The Creator experience earth through you. You experience God through you. That is that Vav. That Vav is that connector, that bridge, activating Yehwa Vav, I am that I am. Yehiyeh Asher Yehiyeh, or Yehiyeh Va Yehiyeh. It literally means the same thing. It activates the same energy that I am that I am. I am the Creator. I am the healer. When you activate that I am presence, you are becoming. You can activate and draw down the memory of consciousness of things that you've done in many reincarnations before. All these things are stored in your subconscious. All these things are stored in your soul. That's why we always say it's according to the maturity of your soul. You will allow yourself, you will get the understanding and receive the divine inspirations according to what your purpose here. What are you here to activate? What are you here to learn, experience? And what are you here to teach? Who are you here to teach? By drawing down this powerful energy of the above and the below, you become one who walks with God within you. Enoch, it was written in the book of Enoch that he said that Enoch walked with God. People didn't understand what that meant. It meant that he had become. He had drawn down that active energy, those channels. He had cleared the channel of his lower self, his egoic self. He had gotten to a space that he was constantly in the level of humility and surrender. Now, humility do not mean to be a doormat. Humility does not mean to allow anything and anyone to just affect you. We're speaking of humility, of understanding that there's no room for the immature ego or the lower aspect of you when you are tapping into this heavenly realm, when you're tapping into the infinite source of creation, the infinite source of consciousness. You have to be in a space where you are willing. You have become that empty vessel. How do we become the empty vessel? The first person you have to master, discover, study is self. And to assist you to master, discover, understand, study self is by drawing down the Yehwa, allowing yourself to activate this energy within you daily. By doing this, by walking in your I am presence, by walking in that Yeh Asher Yeh energy, you are allowing yourself to be the empty vessel, to be guidable. Having inspiration, sometimes we know living here on earth in this matrix, it is difficult. To apply courage, to walk in all the consciousness, the levels of consciousness that you have drawn down, to walk with the understanding that you have now, and also expand and have unconditional love and respect for those who don't know, that takes courage. It takes grace. It takes love. But that level of grace, unconditional love, the flexibility. Flexibility is allowing yourself to be fluid. Hay represents the water, that water element. So understanding that water element is fluid. If it doesn't flow, it becomes still. Anyone saw a pond that the water doesn't flow? It becomes disease, sick, infectious. So understanding that the energy must flow. And we have to understand that in order for that energy to flow within us, we have to allow. And embodying this level of energy constantly, it takes allowing, it takes courage and willpower. Using that spark, using that flame, using that ignited passion in the heart to allow you to expand. Becoming one with God. Genesis 1 verses 26 to 31. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. We are that higher consciousness. But unfortunately, mankind consciousness have fell so low that we have allowed the lower aspect, that egoic nature, to fuel us. This is the operation of the world that we live in today. We are blessed to be in these times that we are activating the fifth dimensional energy. We are now able to draw down that higher self. We are now able to have that clear channel. But it comes with willingness. It comes with surrender and continuous walk. Every single day, when you say, I want, I need, you have to take the accountability, that part within you, to do what you need to connect and stay in that I am present to help navigate. This is a vehicle. Your avatar, your physical body, is a vehicle in which you're here to experience. But allow. The most important thing is allow and have balance. And even when activating the Yahweh, you're activating the divine qualities. It comes with time before you master it all. Having grace with yourself. That's why hey also imply a lot of grace. By using hey, activating that energy, you are allowing yourself grace for the things that you don't get right away. Sometimes we do get inspirations and we miss the mark. But that's why going backwards sometimes to go forward is very necessary. That's why walking and working with alignment, with the celestial science, with the heavenly bodies. That's why it is assisting us. It's not against us. Most of us think retrograde, Mercury retrograde specifically, everybody be like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde. We all get nervous. But when you're working in the energy of the cycles of change, with the elevated consciousness, you understand that that is the time to reflect. That is the time that you can go backwards. That is the time to sit still and make sure you didn't miss a mark. So you now, when the energy is in flow, because we know about the principle of rhythm. You understand that the energy is constantly in a flow. The planetary alignment is constantly in a flow. And when there is stagnation, that is time to sit still. That is time to go back. Make sure you didn't miss any of those sparks, any of those inspirations, and allow yourself to evolve. See the beauty and the power of God in absolutely everything. And the first thing I wish you see it in is you. You are unique. We are interconnected, but each and every last one of us have a uniqueness, beauty, and place in this world. The divine inspirations, the divine channels will activate your uniqueness by activating and drawing down the higher self, the I am presence, this Yud-Hey Vav-Hey, Yeh Asher Yeh energy daily within you, help you navigate this energy. She Prays mission. By joining this course, you have made a commitment, not to me. You made the commitment to yourself. On this pathway of ascension, on this pathway of evolving, elevating in your consciousness, you made the commitment to move forward, to gain a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more insight, to assist you in expanding. Thus are part of a team, TOR, which stands for Team of Remembrance. Each day we fill our lives with light as we work on our journey to ascension, to becoming our true identity, purpose. As a team member, it is prudent to understand on this journey, we must strive for a life where the physical, mental, and emotional are integrated into the spiritual. Selah.